Welcome back, everyone. It has been a good minute. This past week, I just was finishing up. I was tidying up the loose ends of my E4 E5 course, so I've sent everything in. It's really great to see. Okay, and speaking of which, yeah, we're gonna play E4 E5. Um, yeah, my life feels so much easier now that I don't have to deal with this course. It was literally like a year and a half of doing PGNs every single day to finish this course. So it's extremely relieving to say the least. All right, we got Four Nights game, some classic stuff. Ooh, this is the Halloween Gambit. I was just looking at this recently. Yeah, pretty much Halloween Gambit. They're just sacking a piece to try to kick your knights out a bit. At lower levels, this is actually pretty strong. It could definitely be used as a good surprise weapon. Unfortunately, though, he's playing me. He's playing the guy who knows the theory, so he's just gonna lose, though. Because yeah, he's just down a piece here. A basic plan to deal with this is just try to get your pawns in the way of this and freeze his center out, and then we're just gonna use our extra piece with great success. I don't know what this is about. I'll just play a6. I was thinking about c6, but then that lets the knight get into d6. Still got the broken mouse. Yeah, literally, there's been for literally the past 18 months, I've just felt like I've had to juggle everything because whenever I wanted to get like super focused on the course, I would have to try to upload daily on YouTube and yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be really great that I don't have to think about this course anymore. Um that isn't to say I still actually have a few more courses I have to do, but they're all so much less. They're all so much less in terms of breadth and depth. Like I still have to do a two nights tango course, but it should only take. I wouldn't assume that it's going to take me more than like 250 hours. So yeah, I think I'm in a very good situation now. Um, like in comparison, I think this E4 E5 course took me 3,000 hours. Like I'm not joking in terms of brainstorming, editing, re-editing. Like I did several chapters that I literally just deleted because I wasn't happy with them. Um, yeah, I think it's going to be a good course though. Lots of really new ideas in against E4 E5. It's time to go. I haven't made one of these videos in like a week. We got to get things moving. We got to get things going. It's time to go.
FTV Claude, I'm going to ask you the same question that I asked.
It's time to go!
Yeah, okay. We'll just play 97, knight f5. We got the blockade in, so we're just up a piece here for nothing. Literally nothing to discuss here. Up to 831. That's a good rating. Let's see if we can break. Let's see if we can break 850 today. Yeah, as you can tell, I changed locations. Yeah, I'm out of the building that has the incessant beeping. Can't get enough good news for the channel. No more beeping. No more beeping to disturb the Birdman. Yeah, this looks fantastic. I'm just up a piece here for nothing. Targeting C2. There's really nothing to discuss here. We might be able to play C5. I gotta fix this mouse, man. I don't even know what it is. It's not the mouse, technically. The mouse is actually very strong. It's my motor coordination. For whatever reason, just my hand-eye coordination when it comes to using a mouse in chess is very, very limited. It leaves much to be desired. Okay, we'll play h6, push this bishop out. Yeah, I should have mentioned that back in this position, I didn't want to play bishop e7 because if I were to take with my queen, I'd lose this pawn. If I were to take with my knight, I'd lose this pawn. In all these positions, I'm completely winning though, so it's just like a pick your poison type scenario for him. He's completely stuck here. All right, let's play bishop e7. Got a sneaky threat now of takes, takes, and bishop g5 winning the queen. Also have ideas of bishop h4 to skewer this queen. Yeah, the one bad thing about this apartment is just that it's very hard to get enough light to record these videos. So, yeah, you guys are gonna have to excuse me, but just for the next like 2 weeks, these are the videos I can get you. Okay, I have I have literally all the lights on in my house, and this is the best light I can get. All right, we got the queen. That's pretty much the game. It's time to go. This guy's from South Africa, right? Nice. All right. Let's get another game. Okay, playing some black games today. Great, e4, e5. I definitely love playing sub 1000s because all of them play king pawn. All of them treat the royal game with respect. Yeah, never mind the fact that oh, okay, yeah, nice. This is my repertoire. We play d5 here. He's gonna take, and then we're gonna play knight d4. Up until now, no one has played the correct move, which is c3. Against c3, I have something really interesting. I have yet to disclose it. Hoping to disclose it honestly on a title Tuesday. I don't want to. Okay, good. I don't want to disclose it here. This is a very classic mistake. We've already seen it once. Chess.com banned this account after I played this reputation, and then I had to email them, and then they reinstated my account. But yeah, you just play Queen C6 here. I'm probably gonna win like 10 games like this on this speedrun because literally, like back in this position, 40% of people play this blunder. Yeah, they're already losing. Because the whole issue is once you win G2, then all of their light scores become extremely weak. Okay, I don't know what that is. We could take with the knight and then take here. A lot of these look completely winning. Yeah, let's... Taking with the queen also looks good. Both of these look good. I'll take with the knight, though. Because I want to score G2. Yeah, you score G2, you're doing well. Once they play rook f1, we have bishop h3. This just looks like a disaster. Alright, we'll play bishop h3. Doubling down on the rook. And notice that because they don't have a bishop lined up here anymore, this rook is a goner. If queen e2, I'm going to play knight d4. There, we got checkmate, though. That's it. That's the end of the game. I hope chess.com doesn't kick me again. I'm worried about this thing. It's loading. I think it just might be my poor internet, though. Yeah, truth be told, there are a few problems with this apartment, but the nice thing is that there is no beeping. I would gladly trade... I'll gladly trade the quality of the internet for no beeping, right? Birdmaster can't stand the beeping. Let it be known to all. Right, f4. This is in the Rambunctious Steed chapter. We're going to play knight f3. We still have hopes of playing e4, but they might transpose, so we're keeping e4 at bay for the moment. There. So this is actually quite interesting, right? When they have this whole setup here, they want to play e5. In this exact position, do not play h3 because then they're going to take, play e5. That position isn't the end of the world, but it's already slightly more comfortable for black. Bishop e5 is much stronger. Playing Losimo, man. What is that, Syria? UAE. I'm wondering, how's the Syrian flag different? I got a lot of questions. We could definitely take here for the chop. Yeah, why not? Let's just get the chop in. Never complain about a good chop. Gonna put the bishop on b2. Castle. All right, there. That doesn't really do anything. We could definitely play d3 here. Normally when they go for this knight e4 funny business, you can play d3 and kick their knight back. Their knight might end up eventually coming here, though, and it might start targeting e3. Oh, what am I talking about? Let's just play d3 and kick the knight. We'll deal with that later. Like, that is not really an issue anyway here. That's much more of an issue if their bishop was already fianchettoed shadowed here. I don't actually... I'm not able... I understand it intuitively. I can't really put into words, though, why, but... This is great, though. Because he's already gotten the weakened pawns here, right? So now if... I could already play e4 if I want. I'm probably not going to go for it yet, but bishop b2... Look at this bishop. Aiming at g7, how is he going to develop that bishop now? If he plays e6, bishop e7, I can just scoop up the pawn. Can get scooping. Yeah, I've been taking a lot of Japanese classes lately. I'm hoping to get good at Japanese. Japanese is a wild language. A language fit for kings and queens. Alright, I really like e4 here. Look at this. Takes, takes. Yeah, this is a disaster now, right? Because at least before... Okay, yeah, I just want to show something. At least before, the structure's a little ugly, but at least these technically aren't isolated. But once this trade happens, now these pawns become isolated, they're going to become much weaker now. Knight d4, we have this cool move. We have queen c3 here. Oh, I got to be careful here. I got to be very careful. If he played e5, takes, bishop e4, I'm losing my queen. Because takes, knight takes c2. Yeah, if e5, I would have to play something... Yeah, something more pronounced like a3. But okay, anyway, he plays c5, so I don't need to deal with that. Let's just take with the queen. All right, I'm taking with the queen with check, hitting the knight. Bro plays knight e6, I play f5. Yeah, this looks perfect. Knight e6, f5. It's time to go. All right, this is just the end of the game. I guess he'll play bishop d6 here. Yeah, but oh, we can get out of the way with the check. Yeah, I'm just not calculating anything. I had a big bagel this morning, and like that's going to be my excuse for why I'm so exhausted. I slept 10 hours. Yeah, it's really great. Like now that I'm done with this course, I'm just pretty much on vacation 24/7. I'm going to start putting a lot more time into this YouTube though, cuz I do like the YouTube. We'll take here hitting the rook, also threatening this. And I do like the YouTube, and I feel like I'm just someone who likes working. I like working on projects, so I'm not going to... The fact that I could technically sleep in now every single day for the rest of my life. No, what am I talking about? There are definitely going to still be periods of intense work for me, but like this course that I just completed, great. We won. We're up to 855. Perfect. Yeah, this course that I just finished was by far... Yeah, this is by far the most I've ever worked in my life. Like on this course. It was like 5 hours of mental work. I think it was like 3 hours, 4 hours of mental work every single day for 500 days. I'm sorry for talking so much about the course, but it's really mind-blowing to me. I just got so obsessed with it that even when I tried to take vacations, I just couldn't stop thinking about the course. That, by the way, that's what explains these long pauses with the videos on this channel. I only wanted to maybe take a pause of a day or two, but then I would just get sucked into the course, and literally I would just end up spending like a week on the course to just finish some really critical part, rather than return to the YouTube and so on. Okay, this is actually a very instructive moment. Should we play bishop e5 here? What do you think? Yes or no? Leave an answer in the comments. Well, pretty much we should not be playing bishop e5 here because they can still play knight e7. Bishop b5, knight e7. Knight e7 is the kryptonite to our bishop b5, because in that case we wouldn't be threatening to take, because they'd be able to recapture with the knight. So we're going to play b3. We're going to wait them out. If they play knight f6, then we can play bishop e5. If they play bishop e7, well, then they can't put the knight on top, and then we could play bishop e5 all the same. Okay, perfect. We got bishop e5 in. That's a helpful bird tip for y'all. Playing Yuri. Playing Yuri, so that's a Russian name with a Brazilian flag, and that's Rapa Nui, the Rapa Nui statue from Easter Island. Lots of countries being represented. All right. Should we get the chop? Yeah, why not? Let's get the chop. I don't appreciate the chop enough. Whenever I'm playing against GMs, they never let me get the chop. So you got to make the most of it. Chope diem, as they say. Bishop e2, getting our bishop out. Yeah, this is very simple now, right? We're just going to play c4, lock these pawns in. Yeah, let's play c4. We're going to play knight e5 soon. c4 weakens this square slightly, but there's no real way for him to use it. Notice that I waited for him to push e6. I was just talking with a student of mine yesterday about this exact thing. If they've pushed e6, you can play c4 more freely because they're not going to be able to play bishop f5 and drill in. All right, we'll play knight e5 here. Aiming at c6. Going to try to pressure this pawn with knight c3, knight a4 next. It's the famous boa constrictor method. Don't give them an ounce of counterplay.
It's time to go!
h5. All right. Can't we just take? What is his idea here? Okay, if we take, though, we're sort of... Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, if we take here, He plays queen c7, and his bishop is actually going to get quite good here. I like knight c3 a lot more. So the idea of knight c3 is that, okay, well, he just dropped a pawn here. But the idea of knight c3 is that I will harvest these pawns at the right time, but it's much better to go for this pawn first, because even if I get rid of this pawn, it's not going to improve his bishop. He needs to get this one, this red one, out of the way for his bishop to ultimately get better scope. Okay, we'll just take here. I'm happy to take. Oh, I see what he's up to. Look at this. Takes, queen takes. He's going to take here, and then he's going to win this pawn. Got to be a little careful. There. That's risky business. If I could throw in a check, he plays king h7, I take, he takes. That looks good. What am I talking about, though? Bishop takes just makes more sense. He's going to take here, take. I don't know what he's up to. I think he's throwing away the game. Okay, we'll just, what are we going to do here? I mean, name of the game is we do not want to let these pawns move. Yeah, name of the game is we don't want to let these pawns move. If I move back, he takes, I take, and then he plays e5 and he liberates this bishop. Even in that position, I'm up a pawn, so I still can't complain much, but it would be much better if we could get a position up a pawn in which he can't move this bishop, so let's play knight e5. Bishop is still entombed. Yeah, this is a disaster for him. This is an awful bishop. Look at that bishop. Let's play queen d6. Already targeting this. Yeah, I'm happy to eventually win all these pawns. This is the last pawn I'm going to pick up, though. I do not want to liberate the bishop. All right. Let's take. Still nothing to worry about. These pawns are fixed. This bishop is still dead. Something else that's nice is as long as this bishop stays dead, his rook is going to struggle to get out. Like, technically, he could put his bishop here, but his bishop is never going to be that safe. If I ever want to, I could just push his bishop back into c8. And this is a disaster. I have full control over the dark squares here. The simplest way to win is just develop domination, develop full control over the d file. Let's play rook d1. Next on the agenda, I'm going to put the rook on d4 and then double up. And by putting the rook on d4, if he ever wants to trade, he'll be fixing my structure in the process. Oh, did I just drop a pawn? I guess I did drop a pawn, but the most important thing, as long as these pawns are staying on the board, I don't need to worry about dropping pawns. No need to worry, people. It's time to go. All right, he takes, so okay, we could check here, check. That should be leading to mate somehow. That should definitely be leading to checkmate. The issue I have, though, is check here. That's not so clear. Oh, then we play knight d3, and I'm threatening a bunch of things. I'm threatening queen h5. I'm threatening queen f8. All right, that looks good enough. I mean, I could also play rook f1. Rook f1 is also pretty much winning, but I think rook d8 makes more sense. Yeah, this is a disaster. Thinking another really frisky move is knight g6, because if, no, maybe knight g6 doesn't work, though, because he has check. The idea of knight g6 is that I'm clearing the way for this queen, and if he takes this way, then we have check and then mate. But no, knight d3 just makes a lot more sense. Hits the queen, covers c1, and we're also threatening queen h5. This has to be the end of the game. Broke would try queen f5, but then we play queen f8, and we're threatening a bunch of different checks. That has to lead to checkmate somehow. Yo, what is up with my internet, man? Internet is a suffering here. But yeah, well, I'm not going to complain, okay? I said it once, I'll say it again. This is the best apartment I've been in yet in Buenos Aires. It's the least noise. The least noise, the least light. All right, here, let's take with check. Bro's going to play king g7. We're going to check. Here, check. There must be a checkmate here. King f5. Where is the checkmate? Okay, we have check here. That's checkmate. Great. Perfect. Yeah, this is like the first of many games that's going to be a nice positional grind. I'm happy to get this game. It means we've entered the territory where people are going to stop blundering. Okay, playing Alcabeira. I probably butchered that. I'm still always my issue here in Buenos Aires, and it's just my issue in general now is I'm so narrow-minded in the Portuguese mindset that I can't pronounce these words, these names that are meant to be pronounced in a Spanish style. I'm only reading them in the Portuguese way. I really miss Portuguese, honestly. I'm excited to be going back to Brazil. It's been too long. It's been far too long. Yeah, I'm literally there's a tournament in Florianopolis in January. I'm not sure if I'm gonna play it. I might play it. It'll be my first tournament in like 3 years. Y'all already know I'm gonna be playing the bird. Make no mistake. Okay, here. Let's actually get the bishop out of the way, right? Because if we take, we're just improving his bishop. This is one of those few times in the bird where you do not want to chop. You could chop if you wanted. It's definitely not the end of the world if you chop, but there's no need to chop here. We're going to play bishop e2. I'm going to try to steamroll them with c4 and d4 here. All right, c4. Nice. Very sneaky threat now. I want to play d4 and c5 and get massive expansion. By playing c4 first, though, it keeps it more lurking, right? It keeps our ideas more hidden. It's not obvious to them that we're actually playing for a steamroll. Okay, and he missed it. Let's play d4. Let's get the steamroll. I could have also played a3 and b4. It's a very similar idea. All right? Just taking on more and more space. What are we going to do here? So now we have a lot more space here. So how are we going to play this? When you have more space, you do not want to trade pieces. We don't even have any pieces that we could trade right now, but what we do have is we see that he has a threat of playing bishop b5 to trade off his bad bishop. So we should figure out a way to solve this. Now, I could play a4, but then that gives this knight a great outpost on b4. So better would be a3, pushing the knight back, when then his bishop won't be able to hop over. Okay, great. And we got it. Where should I put the rest of my pieces? Normally, I like putting the knights on c3. I call these the golden squares. These are a bit better than d2 normally. But in this exact case, I feel like d2 would be a bit better. And the reason that d2 is better is that it doesn't block the bishop. It also has ideas of shifting over to b3. Yeah, this is just tricky stuff. Okay, let's play b4 here. Perfect. If bro plays a5, we'll play b5, kick the knight out, and then play c6. Just continue encroaching. I'm happy to keep this structure healthy. We do not want to let this bishop open up. We want to keep these pawns like concrete here. It's a great position. Okay, perfect. b5. If he lets me encroach this far, this is going to get really bad. What he needs to do here is he needs to just sacrifice. Yeah, normally though the sacrifice is something that most players don't want to make. They don't want to resign themselves to that fate. So he's just gonna bury his pieces now, but this is gonna be much worse. Look at this bishop. This ain't gonna go well, champ. Let's play queen c2. Queen c2 I'm playing for a few reasons. I mean, it's developing, but I'm also covering this pawn. I want now, if he ever wants to try to sacrifice through to liberate, he's gonna have to give me a piece for a pawn. He's not even getting a piece for 2 pawns. Bro's getting the worst deal on the chess market. All right, yeah, we're going to play bishop d3 soon. Yeah, bishop d3. I mean, this has to be winning several different ways. Guys, how do you think we should win this position? Let me know in the comments. Drop a comment in on this YouTube video for how white can win this position. So there are probably like hundreds of ways to win this position because he's playing down a few pieces, but the most important thing, this bishop is never going to be able to influence anything over on the king side because it's just locked behind this wall. So the simplest approach would just be to play on the king side and trade and just keep attacking, and eventually the fact that I'm playing up a bishop will begin to be relevant. To that end, we could definitely play for e4. I don't like the fact that after e4 takes, though, we're giving his knights new squares, though. We'll keep e4 waiting in the wings later, but for now, Yeah, how are we going to do this? I'm wondering how to improve my pieces to the utmost. So yeah, like just to sum up everything, we probably will be playing for e4 at some point. Like this is the critical break, but there's no need to go for it yet. Let's put the knight on e5. Okay. All right. So I mean, this game ended sort of quickly. Yeah, this is such a tough position. Look at this. He can barely move anything. If he plays knight f5, I'm just going to play rook e1 to defend this and then slowly kick his knight out. Yeah, this is a dangerous, dangerous position. We play knight f6, king g7. No, there's no need for that. Knight f6, king g7, I have nothing to do there. Yeah, let's play knight e5. Yeah, the fact that I'm done with this course, it feels like the weight of the world is off of my shoulders. Literally, for a full year and a half, that course just consumed my mind. Was the only thing I was focused on. Yeah, like this is just a great position. I'm up a piece. The fact that he dropped a piece actually means that he has less of a cramp than before. His pieces have a bit more fluid movement. Of course, he's still down a piece though, so he's just losing. This bishop is still dead here. I'm wondering how to win this. I guess we could play e4, takes and knight takes. We should be wary of not hanging d4 though. But I guess e4 takes, knight takes. If he takes here, we could play queen c3 and line up for some disastrous battery stuff here on the long diagonal. Yeah, this ain't gonna go well for champ. All right. Let's play e4. Finally starting to open things up. He's taking? Okay, we're taking this way. I guess he's gonna take here, hitting the bishop, but then I can move this here. All right. I have no idea what this guy is doing. But I am certain of one thing, man. It's time to go.
Fantastically.
Time to go!
Match of the day. Why you? No, don't
It's
interrupt.
time to go!
Don't interrupt me.
It's time to go!
Got to get things going. All right, let's get the queen. This has to be it. I'm gonna try to break 900 this video. I think we should be able to. All right, I think definitely it's time to resign here. Up a queen, up several pieces. He still has the buried bishop. All right, perfect. Yeah, my internet is so slow. Okay, perfect. We got another king pawn. The king's knight variation. Knight c3, 4 knights. We're getting a lot of this. Bishop c4. Here we have a nice idea. We can take on e4. If they take back, we get the classic fork. Yeah, I'm going to have to start studying my e4, e5 course, though, because the thing is literally, it's been like... It's literally been an 18-month project, so a lot of the chapters, a lot of the material I did at the beginning, I just have forgotten completely. Like these past few days, I was just formatting all the material, yeah, to make it like acceptable according to Chessable's guidelines. And I could not remember like half of the positions because it's literally just been so long. It's like a chess book that I haven't read in a year. It's crazy stuff. All right, let's get the bishop. I guess bro was being a little sneaky. He wanted me to take here and then he could score the bounty. No scoring the bounty today. Okay, bro is playing for checkmate. We got to be careful, but let's just play f6 here. No tricks, no traps. Knight has to move away. No checkmate, buddy. And when he plays knight h3, we can play knight d4 to hit the queen and hit the pawn. Yeah, this is going to go very badly. Yeah, he's just losing now. By throwing in this check, now he has 2 pieces hanging. He's going to lose some material. All right. I'll just take back. Is he going to play knight e4? Knight e4 is a little cheesy because if I take his queen, he takes and then he gets a pawn. There. Let's just play knight d4. Go for this. I said it once, I'll say it again. If their queen just starts running around the board, there are always 2 ways you can take advantage of it. Whenever their queen starts running around the board, you can take advantage of it in two different ways. You can either try to get the queen outright, or you could just aim at c2, which is going to be extremely weak. Okay, here we could definitely take on c2, but probably better is h6, right? Yeah, the knight is trapped here. Knight is pinned. If knight moves, I take the queen. If he plays knight f3, we can just take with check and then win the queen outright. Okay, f4. Just going to take here. We got a cool trick coming. All right, check. Yeah, this is it. King h1. Going to take here with checkmate. Just move into chains. Gliding to the top. All right, could we get another e4? b3, interesting. Honestly, I have no idea what to do against b3. I think I've studied b3. I don't think I've ever studied b3, honestly. Let's just play e5 and f6. Okay, knight c3. Weird. Normally, if you're going to play b3 here, you should be playing bishop b2 next. Not that I know anything about this opening, because I don't. All right, we'll play d4 to start chasing them around. Let's play a6. Just keep chasing. b5. Knight is imprisoned here. Cannot move anything. There. All right, I'm just going to get more and more space here. Is he going to play knight c2? Yeah, this does not look good for him, man. These pieces are not going to be good. What? All right, just taking that. I could take here. That looks good. Actually, yeah, so I have a lot of moves here. Of course, I could take with the bishop, but I think this is even better. So when he takes with f, no, I can play queen h4 check and force his king. Yeah, this is a disaster. g3, we play queen e4, and we're gonna score this. He has no way to save the rook, except for unless he wants to give up the knight. We could take here first, though. Look at that. Yeah, let's take here first with check. So we got the pin. Queen e2 is possible, then we'll take on f3. I guess there he could take on e5, but we'll just play king f8. Or we could play knight e7. Bishop c5, going for the rook. The reason I'm blitzing through this is that he's just been pretty losing for a while, and besides that, like this is also just completely irrelevant to the speedrun we're going for. All right, if I take, he takes, and he actually gets annoying compensation. Yeah, I would rather just take here. His late scored bishop was going to be excellent there. Like essentially here I had just a choice between many different winning positions. This one just looks far simpler if I don't have to deal with a rogue light scored bishop. Okay, he wants to take here. It's just castle queenside. He could take here, we'll take back, he takes, and then we have bishop d4 forking. All right. How's this going to go? Let's play knight d4. He takes, we have knight f3 check. Takes, then I'll just take with the bishop. All right. Okay, we're taking back. Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, there's really nothing to comment on with this game. This is just basic stuff. I'm just up 2 pieces. Just going to develop. Okay, perfect. All right, we're back to playing white. Let's play f4. Birds opening as always. Got to get pecking. Got to get flying. Got to get gliding. And got to get swooping. f6, this is interesting. Yeah, I said it once, I'll say it again, guys. Whenever they play f6, your first instinct should be, can you play c4? c4 is normally the magic move against f6. Now here, this is a little tricky, though. If we play c4, they play d4 because they've put a knight here, so they have that as an option. Because of that, they really want to play e5, so I feel like this is actually a good moment to make an exception and play d4 and go for a stonewall. Yeah, I said it once, I'll say it again. Whenever they're clearly playing for e5 in particular, and also when they've blocked their c-pawn from moving to c5, you can often change the game up dramatically and head for what's known as a stonewall structure with pawns on f4, e3, and d4. All right, e5. Yeah, we'll just take twice. I don't think this is going to work out for him. My pawns look ugly, but this pawn actually does a fantastic job of keeping his knight out of f6. Bishop g4. He's trying to score on e5 with the chop on f3. Let's play bishop e5 here. Okay, a6. I'll just take. Get castled. As ugly as these pawns look, they're stopping his knight from getting to its best square. This is a good pawn in my book. Okay, yeah, what are we going to do about this bishop? Let's throw in h3, because if he takes here, we could take back with the queen, and we're going to have great pressure down the f-file. There. All right, he wants to play knight e7. Yeah, I'm wondering how to deal with this. I would love to get the knight out of the way, right? If when he plays knight e7, we can play knight g5, he's not going to be able to castle there. Yeah, this is interesting. This is a little bizarre. I'm wondering, queen e1 makes a lot of sense. I don't want to play g4 because g4 is weakening our kingside a lot. Yeah, so queen e1, knight e7, we play queen h4. That position looks fantastic, honestly. I don't even know what I'm talking about. That looks like a dream position. All right, queen e7. Bro was trying to castle queenside. Now that I don't have to deal with this pin, let's play knight d4. Trying to score on c6. Another idea is that if he castles queenside, we can even flick the queen to a5 to immediately break through this way. This is very, very classic stuff. Whenever you've gotten the chop, your queen should be eyeing a5. This is one of the main reasons that e1 is better than e2 in a lot of these positions. All right, there. Can we play rook f5? Yeah, why not rook f5? Just forking these. He's going to have to take with the bishop, and then we can win his queen at least. Do I have anything better, though? Yeah, let's just play rook f5. This is simplest. Yeah, it's going to be my 4th year of playing playing Birds Opening soon. I think I started playing Birds Opening like February 2023. Yeah, I'm definitely hitting like that sweet spot where I just know so much more than my opponents. Yeah, like I've been playing a lot of Blitz tournaments, and almost every single Blitz tournament I'm just winning now, because like the shorter the time control, the more dangerous and the more lucrative one of these gimmicky openings, one of these like offbeat sideline openings like Birds Opening is. And Birds Opening is the perfect type of it's the perfect type of middle ground between gimmicky stuff which people don't really pay attention to and objective soundness. All right, what is happening here? Yeah, this is bananas. We should be trying to open the board as quickly as possible. Let's play e4 here. Gonna try to take on d5. I don't know what's up with this mouse, man. This mouse, flicking around like a knight. No, I'm trying to take here. Okay, perfect. We're gonna take and then win the bishop. All right, we're gonna take here. We play bishop f4. They're gonna take on d5. How are we gonna handle this? Yeah, let's play bishop f4 first. I just want to develop. Just aiming straight at c7, threatening a quick checkmate. Knight d5. All right, we'll play knight c3 here. Simple trade should suffice here. Queen g5. I do need to pick my squares a little carefully here, because if I move the queen somewhere erratic, like taking on g7, then he can score the bishop on f4. Should put the queen on g5, therefore. All right, let's take here. Just simplify everything. Taking here, aiming for checkmate. He's got to try rook d7, but then I'm going to play queen c3 and mobilize with rook e1. That's a really cool photo. Is that the flag to Réunion? Let me know in the comments. Réunion is this island in the Indian Ocean. It's near Mauritius. And I've always wanted to go there. I've only traveled once to the Indian Ocean. Indian Ocean looks amazing. Yeah, from what I understand, that's the flag to Réunion. Wait, what am I doing? I'm just not even thinking. I was thinking about Réunion, and I could have just taken there and immediately ended the game. I'm just not focused, guys. I'm sorry. Birdmaster's exhausted. I literally finished the course just yesterday, though, so it's, yeah, I guess it's my body just trying to slowly return to normality. It's so nice that this course is done. Where should we put the rook? To C1 or E1? Let's put the rook to C1. Just doubling down on C6. If he plays rook E6, I can make a play for C7 again. All right. Yeah, let's start with queen G7 here. Actually, I like queen D3. Look at this. Attacking the bishop, also attacking this pawn. Also hitting D7. If he plays bishop H5, I can take on H7. I'm hitting the bishop and hitting C7. All right. Perfect. Okay, this time I'm not messing up. I'm not getting distracted by the Réunion picture. That's a really beautiful picture, though. I feel like that's Réunion's flag. I don't know, though. I really can't tell you. Yeah, let's just take here. Threatening checkmate on 1. Nice. All right. Getting a queen pawn. Interesting. Let's play the two knights tango. Have I studied the two knights tango? No. I still have not done that course. Maybe next year. Yeah, I think I'm going to take like a break. I'm going to take a break of at least like a month or two before getting to this two knights tango course. But yeah, as mentioned earlier, though, it's not going to be nearly as much of a slog as this E45 course. With this E45 course, I literally found completely new theory. Like two knights tango is already relatively explored, so it's not going to be as much of a novel work as this E45 course is, where I need to make up tons and tons of theory. All right, perfect. Yeah, we're just playing E5. We're taken. We've given him the chop here. This is turning into something very similar to a bird's opening. The only big difference being my pawn is not on F5 here. Play H6, chase the bishop out. All right, how is this going to work? If I take this way, I could take either way here. Yeah, let's just take with the queen. Let's keep it simple. If he's playing this correctly, he should install the bishop on E4. The bishop is going to be fantastic on this treehouse. All right, if I play bishop G4, he could play bishop E4. That gets a little tricky. Yeah, I'm wondering how we should navigate this. I'd love to bring my pawn to F5. If we could do that, we're definitely in business. Let's put the queen... It looks a little artificial, but I think putting the queen on E6 makes sense. I'm going to play F5 soon. He can't play bishop E4 because I'll take on C4. There. I don't know what that's about. It's quite a useless check. All right, F5. Just segmenting the queen and the bishop. Bishop is going to be lost. We're going to take soon. It's going to be time to go. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I'm extremely tired now. All of a sudden. I'm going to go take a nap. Got to get some Z's in. Yeah, it's perfect though. Now that I don't have to do this course, I can literally... I can't see a world... I can't see how I won't be able to start making daily uploads though. All right, let's take with the rook. Threatening E4. He should try E4 here. He is still down a piece, though. It looks pretty hopeless. Put the queen on G6, get the bishop out to G4. Okay. Yeah, let's put the queen on G6. Just going to develop quickly. Probably he shouldn't have castled queenside, but he's losing anyway. Being down a piece, it doesn't make much of a difference. But yeah, the queen side is definitely not going to be safe, though, right? He has no pawns that could ever form a nice shelter here on these green squares. There, let's play bishop g4. Pinning the knight to the rook. If he plays knight h4, we can respond with a check. I didn't want to end the speedrun on this game, though. I think we're going to play one more. Throw in the check. Yeah, just every now and then someone buzzes my apartment for no reason. All right, we'll play rook d... Should we play rook d8 or rook takes f2 here? If rook d8, he plays queen e3. I think that's actually a much simpler win, though. We're going to go for that. Queen c2. All right, I could take on f2 with enormous pressure on d2. He'll play check to try to distract my queen from the pin, but I could just play king g8 there. Yeah, this is simple. All right. It's the last trick in the book. We'll play king g8. He has one more check, and I could just take. I guess he could try knight f4, but that's not going to go well. I'm going to take here. I'm going to take here. It's still a disaster. All right. Just taking here. Taking again. This is going to be checkmate soon. King b3, we have this checkmate. Perfect. Yeah, let's play one more game. Let's play one more game for all the marbles. We broke 900, though, people. Give yourselves a round of applause. Knight f3, e3. Bishop f5, that's weird. I rarely see this bishop f5 stuff. Speaking of which, I rarely see knight c6. Knight c6 is a completely legitimate way to play, but at those higher levels, none of those GMs play this. Okay, so he retreated his bishop and now he's kicking me out with a6. Should we chop? This is a very interesting question. What should we do? Should we chop here or not? Well, he's ready to take back with the bishop, so we could just retreat. Chopping is okay. Chopping isn't bad. But retreating is also fine. And normally what happens here is they will play e6, and now their bishop just has bigger issues. If he wanted to fight against the strategy of bishop e2, he should have gotten his bishop out first, and then played e6 and bishop d6 and so forth. We'll play b3 here. I'm going to bring my bishop to b2 to sniper. To snipe the g7 pawn. All right. c4. Yeah, I think we got this position before. We must have gotten one just like this. I'm going to play d4 and c5 soon. All right, that's interesting. So on the one hand, his position isn't as constricted now that he's lost this d pawn. Because just a lot of his pieces now, he has an open file, for instance, with the queen. If he ever gets his bishop here, it's going to have an open diagonal. But even so, though, he is still making a strategic concession by trading off his central pawn, his d pawn, for our b pawn. We could definitely play d4 here. Yeah, why not? We'll play d4. We do need to be a little bit more careful because now that this trade has happened, we could potentially be taking on some weaknesses here, but I don't see how they would be relevant for the moment. He might want to play knight g4 here, so we should just be on the lookout to make sure knight g4 taking on e3 never works. We play knight d2. Yeah, let's play knight d2. Just like before, I don't want to put the knight on c3 because I don't want to block this bishop. We'll play queen b3 here, defend this. He could play knight a5, but then I'll just play queen c3 to eye the knight and also eye this. All right, perfect. I guess he's going to try c5 to defend the knight, but then if he plays c5, b6, that's not good for the bishop, though. That bishop is definitely not happy. All right, d5, knight f6. It's not really doing anything yet. We play knight g5, knight g5, knight f6. I don't know. This position already looks fantastic, truth be told, because he just has a lot of ugly pieces now. I also have a much better center. d5, knight f6. Oh, can I play knight e4 there? Just play to win? Play to win a pawn? Yeah, that works. Look at that. Yeah, let's play d5 here. I was a bit afraid of this. I was a bit hesitant about this because we are creating a huge gap between the green pawns and the red pawns in terms of the space here. But he has no way to take advantage of it. And the pressure against g7 is enormous. All right, let's play knight e4 here. Aiming at f6. Uh-oh. We got the checkmate. All right. So thank you all for watching. I'm going to end it here. Take care, guys. It's time to go.
No. I'm right where I'm supposed to be.